So in this video, we'll just unbox and take a first look at these Jaybiard Vista 2, which seem to be one of the better weather sealed or waterproof Bluetooth true wireless headphones you can get out there, specifically made for people who do any kinds of sport, really, and should be very durable. And since I recently got a small iPhone mini that I really use only to go out and do my run, so I can stream music and of course take some photo and stay in contact with the outside world, I really wanted to get something that is completely weather sealed as well for my ears, for my headphones. I do have various other Bluetooth headphones, like from Samsung and from Apple primarily. So AirPods Pro, the regular AirPods, Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, and also Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro. And I do like all of those, but none of them are truly weather resistant or water resistant, waterproof rather. Only really the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro have pretty good weather sealing. I believe it's IPX4 or excuse me, IPX7. But these buds here don't work that well with Apple devices. At least you cannot get like any of the more advanced features or control those on the iPhone because they don't have an app to like control the active noise cancellation and other various features. But anyways, which brings me to the Vista 2. Recently got the Jabra 75T Active, Elite 75T Active, and actually really like these headphones. Not really totally in love with the design, but kind of surprised me a little bit. Pretty good audio quality, but very good fit in my ear at least. But the other pair of headphones, or actually the first pair that I wanted to try were this one here, but I have to order these online. So yeah, it took one day for them to arrive. And one nice thing with these headphones here is, in fact, not only are the headphones themselves weather sealed or waterproof, but the case is also some kind of weather sealing. Don't believe it's completely waterproof, but it should be able to handle a little bit of rain and so on. And here in my country it's wintertime, and generally it's not really the best weather. I've been out and running in weather and hail and snow in the same run actually recently, and some of the other days where it's just been raining quite a lot. So I've been completely soaked in water, just dripping of water when I got home. So I believe something that is completely weather sealed, waterproof is definitely the way to go for me personally. I have used my Sony Walkman headphones up until this point here, and I really like them, enjoy using them. Only really when I have a head on top of my ears, they are quite uncomfortable for that scenario, but all other scenarios when I don't have a head on, it's actually quite a comfortable pair of headphones. But I cannot really synchronize any of my music from my streaming services. For instance, I use YouTube Music. These here, Sony, you really only need to supply your own MP3 or ACC or whatever different kind of codecs, MWA. Can't even remember all the codes, but at least, of course, MP3 files, you have to supply them yourself. So finding a place where you can actually buy MP3 files and you can actually play on an MP3 player that doesn't have any of the copy protection and so on, it's kind of hard to do. And I'm definitely not going into ripping CDs, and I'm kind of tired of listening to the same songs over and over, even though I've quite a few songs on here. It's been the same like music library that I have been using for my runs for the last like 5 years or something like that. So time for a change and to get some new music on my runs. And like I said, these ones just seem to be the way to go. Nothing really on the side of the box. The green color scheme there on the side as well. And on the back side, you get a little more information, of course, about these headphones. So 24 hours of battery, that's of course including the case, but you do get 8 hours from the headphones themselves. So that's pretty good actually. I believe when you're using active noise cancellation, that will also probably go down a little bit. Not really sure I'm going to use active noise cancellation, but they do also have some transparency mode, which is definitely something I probably will use from time to time. Premium sound, yes, that's great. Surround sense with ANC, so they have the surround sense. Like I said, IP68 waterproof, so not just weather resistant, but waterproof, but with military grade construction. So they probably tested to military standard. And the case is IP54 weatherproof case, so it is weatherproof case, not waterproof, so it can handle a little bit of rain and sweat and so on and still be fine, which is kind of nice. Also, if you want to carry this, of course, in your backpack or in your pocket or so when you go out and do your run and activities, nice that it's weather sealed, the case, but also when you get home and if the earphones is a little wet or moist or you have some water on your hands, it's nice that you won't accidentally break the case for charging the devices. Got a sport fit. That's also one of the reasons why I want to get these, because they do have the little arm that sticks out and actually attaches into your ear, so it should get a little better fit, or at least a little better grip on your ear, and that could be very useful if you're doing like interval runs where you're running very fast or run downhill and so on and so on. I just feel like even though the Jaybiard Elite Active 75T does fit in my ear quite well, I'm not really sure they will stay in there if I do some very intensive workouts. Right now I have a head on, so they will kind of hold them in place, but they don't have any ear tip or wing tip, I believe it's called, so they will grab the inside of your ear. Yeah, time will tell how well this actually will work. And you also have clear voice, of course, if you want to do some phone calls there. I don't plan to do that many phone calls on my runs. Maybe like if it's important or I need to call home and say something, or my girlfriend needs to call me for specific things, could be useful, but it's not really something I plan to use. But it's nice that it has some kind of clear voice function. And the bottom side here, see some more information. Let's bring out the unboxing knife and get into this box here. And yeah, there's a little marking on the inside of the lid there. Don't know for what really. And once we're into the box here, does look quite nicely presented here on the top. Let's just have a look at the accessories first. So USB Type-C, which is a nice thing, but the case also supports Qi wireless charging, which is definitely what I prefer to use with my headphones. You also get extra ear tips, and that's one thing I really like with this design, which is both a good and a bad thing. But the ear tip and the little ear wing there is within the same mounting that you connect to the headphones, so it is on there very securely. Sometimes these little ear tips, if you only have the small one connected to the headphones, for instance, like we have on the Jaybiard Elite here, these are pretty easy to snap off. It hasn't really happened to me for quite some time, but definitely something that can happen. The fact that this one is mounted on the entire headphone themselves, I really like that design, but of course that means that you can only really use the ones that's supplied from Jaybiard, so you need to go through them to get new ones. I'm not really sure there's any third-party brand making any of these. Maybe there is. Let me know down in the comments below. But like I said, this definitely adds to the durability of these headphones, in at least my opinion, or my initial thought about this design here. And other than that, we get some paperwork as well. UB quick start guide, which is actually kind of thick, so I guess it will be in many different languages. So you need to press the physical button, I believe, to actually pair these ones up, but we will just go through the setup process. And I have downloaded the app on my phone as well. But yeah, you can see many different languages and nice illustration and a clear text of what you need to do. And then we have some warnings here, of course, some warnings about listening volume levels. I'm definitely in the group that listens to music very, very loudly, which is not recommended, but yeah, I like it that way. And yeah, this is also a pretty big template. I believe it's many different languages, but yeah, maybe it's a good idea to read it, but I'm definitely not going to do that. Lastly, a little piece of paper here detailing the specifications here of the product. Let's get rid of that as well. And then we're down to the Jaybird's themselves. I really like this case already. Let's just get rid of the box and actually get just a little bit closer here. So right at the bat, this box actually feels very durable. Of course made of plastic, but yeah, definitely like the feel of this case here. There's not that much wobble, if any wobble at all, side from side here, if I'm actually moving the lid from side to side. I mean, this one from Jaybiard feels quite good, but a little plasticky, and the lid just need a little more persuasion to actually open it up fully. Of course, AirPods always felt so nice, just snapping that lid up and down there. And the Samsung Galaxy Buds, I believe as well, have pretty nice lids when you open it up and closing them. So let's try these ones here. Does it feel nice when opening them? Okay, can't open all the way up, which is, yeah, a little bit of a bummer actually. I'm not really sure it's an issue, but you can see here definitely is quite a bit of an angle there, but else feels pretty good. There is a little bit of case movement there when I actually open it up, so it doesn't feel as sturdy. But when I'm pressing on the case like so, the case itself feels very durable. So I would definitely wish the lid would open up a little further than this. On other buds or headphones, you can see open all the way up, actually a little more than 90 degrees here. Jaybird's as well, but you need a little more persuasion, but more than 90 degrees there. And of course, AirPods, more than 90 degrees, but I'm not really sure you need it because the headphones are actually nice presented here in the front of the case. So as long as you can get your big fingers in there and grabbing the headphones, you should be pretty good to go. And yeah, feels pretty nice actually. Yeah, pretty easy to grab them. So yeah, that's pretty okay, I would say. Of course, a little bit of information here inside the lid about the product. There is a little bit button there, so you can press that. I believe you need to press it to pair the headphones. I just pressed it once and something happened with the LEDs there on the front. But you can see the case there. Of course, the middle one, I believe, indicates the charge level of the case itself. And the two outer ones there, the left one, of course, indicates the left earbud, the right one, the right earbud. And of course, you have USB Type-C here in the front, which is a little awkward place though, but yeah, doesn't really matter really. But the best thing, of course, is that it has wireless charging, so you can just place it on your Qi wireless charger of choice, and it should charge. And it also has this little leash here that you can actually tie into certain things. It seems to be kind of built into the case itself. It would have been nice if you can actually replace this, because maybe at some point it will break and yeah, you're kind of screwed. But it seems to actually be, I don't know, glued or actually attached to the case permanently. But yeah, it's a nice little thing as well, so you can tie it into a little loop in your backpack or on your belt, or yeah, wherever you want to secure this case here. So yeah, first impression definitely feels very solid when it's closed. Less so when you're actually opening it. And yeah, you need to have a little bit of finger movement here when you're actually removing the buds from the case. And inside the case here, we do have these charging points. I've read online, or heard online at least, that some people have issues actually with one of them not charging because it doesn't make best contact with these contact points here, or charging points. Of course, that should make contact with the headphones themselves. And I think the reason for some people maybe having issues with charging the headphones, after time, of course, it will be sweaty and gunk and stuff will accumulate on those charging points here on the headphones themselves. And the ones that inside the case here doesn't have like a spring. When you press them in, there is no movement. All other cases I've seen, including the Jaybiard ones here, does have spring or springiness to the contact point for the charging point there. So it will actually make a little bit better contact. So the magnet will actually pull down on those poker pins there. So even if there's a little bit of gunk and stuff accumulating there, they will still make a little bit better contact because it's kind of pulling it down on top of those poker pins. And it's the same for like my Galaxy Buds here, Galaxy Buds Pro. You can see the poker pins there have spring. I don't know if you can actually see that, but there is definitely spring in there. So it will kind of squeeze down onto the spring. And when you close the lid, it will kind of make a little firmer contact. So I believe that's not the best design from Jaybiard, and you maybe need to clean those a little more frequently than with other cases or other true wireless headphones. But other than that, let's have a look at the headphones themselves. I really like the clear lettering here between left and right. Rubber ear tip there, or rubber wing that will, of course, attach into your ear. Yeah, a pretty big silicone ear tips there as well. These are the default ones installed. I believe larger ones here, and you also have one without the little arm, or at least with a very, very small arm as well. I'm gonna try the standard ones before I will do anything else, because I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna keep these. I'm only gonna keep this if I really like them. So if I want to be able to send it back, I'm not really sure I would like to open the other ones there. A little bit strange design-wise is the fabric here on top of the, I believe there's a microphone, and also there is a physical button in here. Not sure you can hear it, but actually got pretty good feel. And that's one thing I really like about the Jaybiards. The physical button feels a little bit better, and it's quite easy to press when you're out and running and you want to skip track and so on. It's definitely a little harder to press, and you also get a little more noise from this button as well. So I'll have to test this in real life and see how well it actually works. But I suspect it will work just fine. But the fact that it just have a physical button is definitely something I will prefer when I'm out and doing my runs. And I believe you can also do some kind of touch interface, or maybe it's just tapping, so you don't have to press it fully to have some functions, as well as, of course, clicking the physical button if you want to skip tracks and volume up and down. But I believe you can set that up inside the app. Yeah. So other than that, you have, of course, a proximity sensor, I believe. So it will kind of detect when you're removing it from your ear. And I believe you can use one of them in your ears at a time So if you want to save on battery or only really want audio in one ear at a time, you can do that with either one of these. And of course, switch them out if one of them dies, if you're going for a longer run or a longer activity. You can see the little lettering there for the size of the silicone that's on here. Silicone, the arm and tips as well. And just a little size comparison here between other types of in-ear headphones. You can see they are on the larger side, comparing it to the Jabra and of course the AirPods there as well. AirPods is probably the biggest ones if you include the stem as well. But the body itself on the Jaybirds is a little bit bigger and a little more squarish design compared to like the Jabra here and the Galaxy Buds Pro as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to test out and see how well it fits into my ear. I really like the Galaxy Buds Pro and the Jabras in my ear. The Galaxy Buds Plus also quite okay, so curious to try out the Jaybirds as well. And the AirPods Pro is definitely also very comfortable in my ear, although the ugly with that little stem there sticking out. I'm not really a big fan of that design, but if you have an iPhone, this is definitely a great headphone. Let's just put this back into the case here. Yeah, it does take a little of getting used to actually putting them inside your case. Let's just try and take it out again. You can see putting it in the case. Yeah, you can see immediately it indicates that it will charge this one, and the same of course with the other one if you put it in and close the case down here. But let's just get my little tiny iPhone mini here into frame, and let's just actually set it up using the Jaybird app, which is just called Jaybird, and you can of course download it in Google or Apple App Store for your Android or iOS device, but this is of course an iPhone. Get a little startup screen there. Let's just connect some buds. We need access to Bluetooth. Oh, that's right, I've actually turned off Bluetooth, so let's enable that. Grant Bluetooth access. Can connect your buds. Let's try again. We're looking for earbuds. It should only take a few seconds. So let's just try and open up the case here, see if anything happens. Let's just retry. I'm not sure if you can just open the case and it will automatically discover them. Or okay, so let's just follow this little guide here. Make sure the buds are charged. Turn on and near your phone. If you have new pair of buds, please pair them to your phone. Stop playing music. What do they mean that I have to go in and pair them manually? Because that was the same case with the Jabras. I believe on iPhone they're a little less smart in terms of how you can actually go in and pair them. So let's just try and go into Bluetooth here and see if we can just find them. Any devices down here? Not really. Let's try and click the little button. I haven't really read the instructions, but feeling that the little button, they have something to do with it. Or maybe let's just go into the quick start guide here. English is the first language. Take the case out of the box and open it. Go to Bluetooth settings, select Vista 2. Done. App required. Okay, so take the case out and open it. Let's try again and see if we can actually find the headphones. Let's turn off Bluetooth again. And let's just enable that. Let's open the case and let's see what happens. Okay, apparently it's not that easy. I'm not really sure it's because I have an iPhone like said, but you can also see the information here on the quick start guide. Press and hold the middle button. It will go into pairing mode. Let's just try that actually and hold this a few seconds. You can see it's kind of blinking there. Immediately you see the Jaybiard Vista 2. Try that. Maybe because I have opened and closed the app or the case so many times that it's kind of messed it up a little bit. But yeah, now it's paired, so you have to go into the Bluetooth settings of your iPhone if you want to pair it up. Okay, you can also find my fit. Of course, you can set up your EQ, and I believe you can also download EQs from other. And you can of course use the button there on the side of the headphones to go to your next song, previous song, play, pause, and surround sense. So I believe they have, or seem to have 4 functions per button. And if of course you want to find my buds, you need to enable local services. Let's just do that. And surround sense, so you can kind of hear your ambient noise around you, and of course active noise cancellation, which I've heard shouldn't really be all that great with these. But anyways, let's go to the dashboard, and surprise, surprise, there is a firmware update. Let's just go through that. Okay, it's supposed to be updated now, but it said it lost connection. Let's try and close it and open it again. Connect the bot, take them out. Did at least see one of them. So I'll just try to close the app down. Let's just go in here again. Open in the case. Hopefully it will connect. Let's try and take them out of the case. Maybe you need to wear them. Okay, now it's connected. Okay, so it seems like I need to take them out of the case, put them in my ear for it to be connected. And you can see it connecting. After a few seconds, it just enable sound sense. See if I can actually hear. Okay, sounds pretty okay. You can of course adjust the level of surround sense, switch options, wind filter. I've also heard some people complain if you use the surround sense and it's windy, it would get picked up by the microphone. So have some kind of wind filter here. This should help out a little bit. And there's also an option to turn it off, which is probably what I would end up using. I would find those active noise cancellation to be that useful anyways. But you can see the battery life of each individual buds or headphones. Of course, the case itself. Let's go into the profile. I haven't signed up yet. I might do that in the future. Find my buds, of course, if you want to see where they're located. You can, of course, download presets, which is a kind of a nice feature. So you can kind of hear what other people are listening to with how they've set up the EQ on their devices. Button controls. So you have 4 different modes, 4 different button setups here. So you can have a single press, double tap, and press and hold. And of course, the right one, you can set it independently of the first one. I really like having the single press to just skip track. I always find the double press a little inconsistent when I'm out and running, because of course I'm moving, and yeah, to press it 2 times doesn't really work all that reliable for me. But I definitely do hear the button press much more than on the Jaybiards for instance, because they have a much softer button. These have a more clicky button. And of course you have more settings here, so you can set name of your Jaybirds. If you have more, then it's kind of nice. You can also set voice and tone, and you have English and a few other languages as well. Auto pause, of course, if you remove them from your ear, then the music will automatically pause. I kind of like that feature. First way to pause the music, and that's pretty much in the app. Not really all that much to do, but it definitely does its job. Let's try and just double tap the earbuds. You can see that it's switching between different modes. Works quite well. Kind of like that it has the not only physical button press, but also just the tapping of the buds themselves or the earphones themselves, which is kind of useful because, yeah, when you're out and running, for instance, just double tapping a headphone is much easier than hitting a button and pressing that 2 times. So I feel that's a little more useful. I don't really like the touch operation of the Galaxy Buds when I'm doing any kind of activity. A little inconsistent actually hitting those touch spots on the headphones themselves. So yeah, first impression of these headphones, they're quite good. I quite like them. Also was pretty comfortable in my ear. But of course, only time will tell if you are wearing them for some time when you're doing your activity, if they're still as comfortable. Also felt pretty secure in my ear as well. And yeah, this is just a unboxing and first look at these headphones. I will of course do a proper review once I have spent more time with these headphones here, and also comparing them to the Jaybiard, which you can get quite a bit cheaper now, at least in my country. They are on sale pretty much everywhere because the newer model is out, and also the Jaybiard is come down pretty much in price here in my country, so it's actually a pretty comparable price, but the Jaybiards is still a little bit cheaper. So anyways, looking forward to get out and run with this nice pair of headphones, and that's pretty much all I have for this video here. I hope to see you again in a future one. Until then, take care.